the people staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive.
Greetings, my fellow balloonatics and french fry finders alike. I'm Brandon the Baby Man, and welcome to Golden Ticker Reviews, the movie review show where if it's classic or crap you see through it, I review it. And before we begin, I'd like to take you back to the future. Nah, just kidding. But I am going to take you back to the massively crazy year of 2009, when James Cameron released his masterpiece Avatar to the world. That didn't involve airbending for some reason. The US swore off as the first African-American president, and the Black Eyed Peas made sure to inform the whole world that tonight was not just going to be a good night, but in fact, a good night. Two eyes in there. And in 2009, we also saw the release of Pixar's 10th animated feature, Up. What else can I say about it? Well, directed by Pete Docter, the man behind Monsters, Inc., Up tells the story of an elderly gentleman named Carl Fredricksen. On the bank of losing his home, he goes off on an adventure in the name of his late wife Ellie to a place they always wanted to see together called Paradise Falls. And on his journey, he meets and befriends a young Boy Scout named Russell, meets a talking dog named Doug, and eventually finds himself having to defend this rare jungle bird nicknamed Kevin from one of his childhood heroes. It's a brilliant film, probably one of my favorites of the Pixar movie oeuvre, and was emotional, hilarious, clever, heartwarming, and all around a darn near masterpiece if I've ever seen one. And there's a talking dog with a chipmunk voice in it. Can't go wrong. Today's film has none of those elements. Rather, it's a rip-off of said movie that feels about as rushed as, well, Roscabelle rabbits?
These are Roscabelle rabbits.
Yes, this is What's Up, Balloon to the Rescue. As opposed to What's Up, Mockingjay Part 1? We open on some reels of rejected footage from the Sci-Fi Channel showcasing the exploits of this group of monster chasers, I assume. These scientists, called Crumb and Zooks, as opposed to Creeps and Crawls, are ecstatic about the possibilities of this, well, science they're focusing on, but the news is more focused on Crumb's niece Amanda. And wow, does this animation suck like the drain pipe at the local Chuck E. Cheese kitchen. I get that this is probably dubbing due to the fact that Video Brinquedo is based in Brazil, but that's no excuse for it to look this cheaply made. It makes Gaither's Pond look like Despicable Me, it's so horrendous. We then see a rare interview with the scientists we just frickin' established, who are engaging in a war with the attention span of the audience watching. Oh, not the characters in universe, the actual audience of this entire movie. It appears they have a powerful jet and super rock that can lift an entire house into the stratosphere. And Dr. Crumb is so enthusiastic, he manages to spill a lot more beans than his partner is capable of handling being flung out. This is what happens when you get your scientific buddy from Craigslist. The reporter also sends the house flying higher than a Calypsian kite. Later, the family is seen at the dinner table discussing things less interesting than an entire package of stale breadcrumbs. And something about camping in France, and someone has to come to the door, which is French ripoff blonde James Marsden? Actually, it's an adventurer named Jean-Pierre, who is here to ask the monster chasers for help after encountering a beast of some sort on his travels. Gee, what kind of beast could he be referring to? But the little boy has already gotten them into takeoff mode before they can even say sassafras, and we find out Pierre wants to hypnotize the world. Why? I don't care. So the journey begins with John blowing up the cave and trapping all of them inside while he attempts to get control of the gang's super rock thing with the secret password. If it can only look past his phony accent, that is.
Le Vendeur! Maybe it's my accent, perhaps? Le Vendeur! Le Vendeur!
Now the crazy monster squad is worried about losing oxygen without air to breathe with. Strange, this never happens when I deal with the Amazon, though maybe I shouldn't talk. Meanwhile, the rock has exploded, unleashing a gaggle of monsters. Luckily, the villain is saved by the scientists, and the team is off to fly once more. They're now after the notion of going to Paris after finding out the monster is attacking the Eiffel Tower. Hopefully he's not too distracted by them trying to capture him.
His fool's errand will keep him most occupied indeed.
Next, in Paris, the city of frights, the scientists show up to play a little game of Monster Ball not Gaga related. Also, the little boy falls asleep and lets a good gumball go to waste. Darwin will be very pissed. They capture the tower lovemaking beast, and then they head off to the Great Wall of China to capture the third monster with help from the most racist Chinese stereotype that even Rob Reiner would say goes too far, and he directed a movie with an Eskimo Kathy Bates. The little boy dresses up as an Oreo, to try to detain the beast while the others escape on balloons, and then Shrinking Ray out of nowhere. Now back to the Amazon, but uh-oh, the evil Frenchman hypnotizes everyone but the boy named Guto who's wearing sunglasses so that he can knock the rock out of Jean-Pierre's hand. Dumbest villain ever. The others are freed from their hypnosis by that Chinese guy's camera flash. Don't question it, it's almost over. And then Jean-Pierre is banished to the monstrous dimension full of demons and monsters and beasts. Yo! Oh, and the Chinese guy is Amanda's boyfriend now. I'm so charmed. So that was What's Up? Balloon to the rescue. The animation was abysmal, the writing sucked, the characters are buffoons, and the plot is just as dull as a rock that's not super. Not that I know much super sediment out there, but the point remains. Seriously, the Dingo Pictures version of Balto was more engaging. At least that had a coherent and time-ticking plot. Sure, it had an unnecessary canine death ball, but it was still more interesting than this. And frankly, when you're making the people behind Dalmatians 3 and Lion and the frickin' King look more competent than you, stop with the rip-off nonsense. But despite all this, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of yourself, have an exquisite Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time at the movies. Oh, and above all, lavender, guys. Lavender. See you later. You know, I think a better title for this movie would have been The Pirates and an Adventure with Scientists. But seeing how there's already another film with that title, an animated film no less, I think that idea is long past. Though, if you do not think that is a good title, come over to my house and I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron. The hell am I doing?
Perhaps you desired. Squirrel!